Hello guys, it's probably best that I remake this video anyways. But yeah, it's probably better that I remake this video anyways. The previous video that I was making of this kind of just went south completely. So anyways, this is going to be the first video that I actually try to edit. And yes, I know I'm talking fast, but I don't really care. This is going to be the first video that I actually try to edit. And, you know, in the course of doing so, I'm going to try to tell a story so I can actually get some content for a video. Because, you know, two birds with one stone in that whole shebang. But anyways, so in boot camp, there was 3 main stories that I told. I'm going to tell you guys some stories. I'm going to tell you guys some stories of, some stories about my love life. More like the lack thereof. But, this story I call The Blonde. This was probably the only time that I ever successfully asked someone out on a date. In 8th grade. I will not... Sorry, not sorry, if any of the girls that I'm telling these stories about, actually, you know, watch my channel. I don't really know, because for my knowledge, there's only like 5 or 6 people that actually watch any of my videos. But, you know what? Let's stop stalling here and go along with the... Rat turds everywhere. But, let's go along with the video. Ah! I'm bad at this. 8th grade. 8th grade English class. Well, 8th grade, it wasn't English class. It was an English class, but it was study hall inside of an English class, which doesn't really matter because this is just a story. And anyways, don't ask me why I did that because I don't really know. So she sits right here, like 1 seat back to my right. To the right and 1 back. And the entire year, me and this girl were passing notes back and forth, talking to each other, and I became interested. She seemed to become mutually interested. So I went to go take my shot for the first time ever, and I actually succeeded. Well, that's not the first time I tried to ask a girl out, but that was the first time it was actually successful. And I was just like, hey, you want to go out on a date with me? But, I've completely lost my train of thought. So, I asked her out to this fall dance, I guess you want to call it. It's like this... It's like the middle... It's like a dance in the fall in the middle of the year. It's one of those stupid middle school dances that don't actually matter. But, I thought it was a big deal because this was actually going to be the first dance that I ever went to. And actually one of the last. I've only ever gone to 3 dances. And this was the only one that well, no. Actually, I only didn't get a date to one of them. Yeah, when I went out with friends. The dance! That's what I was talking about. Okay, so... I successfully asked her out. She says yes. About 2 or 3 days go by. Dance comes up. It's on a Friday or something. I don't own any dress clothes, so I go out. My grandma drives me over. My mom and my grandma drive me over to go get dress clothes. Pants, shirt, coat, flipping shoes, socks, because dress socks are a thing for some reason. I did myself up nice. I did my hair. I cleaned up my face. I took a really long shower. I put cologne on. I shaved for like... No, I didn't. I was thinking of a different time. I didn't shave. I couldn't grow facial hair in 8th grade. I only started growing facial hair like 3 years ago. But, this 7-minute long story is getting drawn out very, very quickly. So we buy all new dress clothes. Go out and buy like flowers. It was like a 6-flower bouquet. A 6-flower bouquet of roses, because that's what my grandma wanted me to buy, so I did. I paid for all of it, by the way. I paid for the dress clothes, and I paid for the clothes. I paid for literally everything that I'm going to mention in this video. So we're going along. Dang it, why can't I remember what I'm talking about? It's going along. We get up to the dance. We get up to the school. About 10 minutes or so before the dance. And driving up. We get there. And everybody's standing around outside because everybody got there early so they could make the most of their dance experience. And so everybody could meet up with their dates outside and all of that random crap. But so we show up, I show up, and I'm looking around for her, and I'm like greeting people. I'm holding this big bouquet of flowers. I'm like saying hi to people, you know, being charismatic for once, and then looking for my date at the same time. And I go and I finally find her in the crowd of people. She looks like a secretary. I'm immediately off-put by this. I'm immediately off-put by the fact that she is dressed like a secretary. Her entire wardrobe reminds me of a secretary bird. This kind of loose-ish blouse-looking thing with this big white blouse with like this poofy thing in the front, like that goes, it's like draped over her chest, and like she did her makeup a little bit, which I don't really care for makeup anyways, but this like kind of flowy frilly skirt, and then heels, which by the way she was, I believe, 4'10", so it didn't matter what heels she wore, it did not do much for her. By the way, a quick description of the girl. She is, again, 4'10", big mop of blonde hair on her head. Her head, if this was her head, this was her head with her hair. It nearly doubled the width of her head. And in all honesty, she was a very small person. She still is, for my knowledge, a very small person. And her hair probably made up for half the weight on her body. Glasses did like maybe lip gloss, foundation, and then like a little bit of like the eye junk. I don't remember what it's called, like the mascara, I think it's what it's called. Like the thing for your eyelashes. And that's pretty much it, which I don't really mind, because I'm not a huge makeup person. And, you know, I really don't like makeup. I don't know what it is. I just don't like makeup. I don't like cologne either, but, you know, I wore that day. But, I also didn't like dresses. I like a lady who will confidently walk about town in a dingy old hoodie and a pair of loose-fit jeans. Go away, mice. I heard something move over there. I'm gonna just keep this handy. But, yeah, anyways. So, yeah, description. Description? I just gave the description. Yes, I just gave the description. So, yeah, anyways, I know. Odd thing to be interested in. But I was, what, 13. and you don't care when you're 13. So, much like, you know, that. But, 13 years old, and I didn't really care when I was 13. I still don't really care. I'll take what I can get at this point. I don't really care. But, so I'm making my way over to my date, whose looks are immediately off-putting, and, whose looks to me are immediately off-putting. And, so, I'm walking up, I'm greeting her, I'm walking up, and I'm like, hey! And she's like, hey. She's like, not paying attention. I'm not noticing it at the time. And I'm like, walking up, I hand her the flowers, and this is flowers, I hand her the thing of flowers, and I, go in to, like, get a hug. I go in to, like, get a hug, and she's, like, completely dismisses my hug. She completely dismisses my hug. And it's kind of like looking over trying to look over my shoulder and, like, looking for other, like, looking around me, like, acting like I didn't exist at all. And, I noticed this, and that immediately piques my interest. Like, what or who is she looking for? Did she, like, forget something in the car? Did she, like, forget something in her parents' car and they're coming back for it? Or, and then all of a sudden, like, hey! And I'm like, oh crap. She yells back. I'm thinking to myself, please don't be for us. Don't be her friends. Hey! Dang it! And my heart immediately plummets into my feet as they run up, and she goes and she hugs her 4 friends. Her 4 friends. All of them not exceeding 5'3". I was 5'5" at the time, so I was about 5'4.5", 5'5", something like that at the time. And she, none of them are exceeding 5'3". All of her friends are short, which I think is hilarious. So they go up and they start talking, completely dismissing the fact that I exist at all. She is completely dismissing the fact that I exist at all. Her friends go, like, come up and they like, oh, hey, how are you doing? Who are you? I'm like, first of all, I'm her date. I'm her date. My name is... Insert name here. You can't get me even on story day. Even though most of you know who I am. So they finished their conversation. I finished my greetings to her friends. And, yes, I did almost slap myself in the face with a machete. But, let me just keep this in frame. Cuddle my machete. Why? Because I don't care. It's not very sharp, so I don't really have to worry about that much. But, so, we finish the greetings between me and her friends, and then we go out, we're finally going into the dance. It's about $2 a ticket. Now, at this moment, I find out she very generously told her friends that she would pay for everything that they would be paying for. Now, being the gentleman that I am, I have already pre-disclosed to her that I would be paying for everything that she would be paying for. So I am paying for 6 people. It is $2 a ticket. one person, one ticket. So they all run in ahead of me, completely forgetting that I exist. It was one of her friends were considerate enough to tell the rest of them to stop and wait because I was still paying for the tickets. I pull out my wallet. I take out a 10. I hand it to the lady, and I'm like looking through my wallet, trying to find a couple of ones, and the lady just goes,
You don't have to pay for yourself. That covers them. You're fine.
I go, thank you.
Like, I feel bad, man. Like,
so do I. Well,
good luck with that whole situation. Was one of those your date? Yeah.
your date? Yeah, the short one. Yeah, the short one with like the big blonde hair. She goes,
Oh. Good luck with that. I'm like,
thank you. Flipping, walking in, I'm already downtrodden. Oh, wait, no, the gadgets! Stop being annoying! But, I'm already downtrodden. Keep them in their place. But, so we're finally going in. They're all kind of just over in a corner, having conversation, giggling, and, forgetting my very existence. A couple of them have already started to dance. The music is already playing, so I'm walking up and I'm like trying to get into it, and then as soon as I walk over there, I hear one of them yell, "Oh my gosh! They're doing pictures!" I'm like, crap. Well, now I'm going to have to pay for pictures, aren't I? And as they are all running in the direction of pictures, the one considerate friend goes, "Hey!" Insert name here. "Come on, let's go get pictures. You can get one with your date." I'm like, you can get one with insert name of date here. This looks much shinier on camera than it is in real life. But, so we run over, we're just waiting in line to get pictures, and one goes, "Hey, they got pop and snacks over there. We can get that after we're done." It's like 3 minutes of waiting in line, and so they're taking pictures. About 5 minutes goes by before I finally get my chance to take my picture with my date. We take one picture with my date, and then they go back to taking a couple more pictures with all of them, and finally finish up with the pictures, and then they go, we're moving on. They ordered, between the 5 of them, they ordered 20 pictures. I ordered 2. One for me, and one for my grandpa, because my grandpa wanted one just in case they were selling pictures. He wanted me to get him one. So I did. I ordered 2. They ordered 20 between the 5 of them. So finish up pictures. We go and we buy. I buy drinks for everyone, including myself. I get myself a root beer, because that's like the only pop that I like. And, well, at least the only pop that I like that they had. And no, I don't like Mountain Dew. No, I don't like Coca-Cola. No, I don't like Pepsi. I don't like anything other than root beer, cream soda, and ginger ale. And that's pretty much it. So we get the drinks, we get snacks, we're eating snacks, you're drinking the drinks, and we finish that up. It's like 5 minutes. I don't know. They're like the little tiny goodie bags of chips. They were great, like $1 each. So, I ended up spending like $8, like $8. I ended up spending like $8 on snacks and drinks, and then we're moving on to we go back over to the dance floor. That's where we were at. We're going back over to the dance floor, and I'm having fun. We're all having fun. We're all dancing, and then the date goes to go to the bathroom, brings one of her friends with her. Yeah, and then and then at this point, At this point, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just start making conversation. So I start making conversation with her friends. Instead of making conversation with her, because every single time that I've actually tried to make some form of conversation with her or have some sort of fun with her, she completely ignores the fact that I exist, and then she completely ignores the fact that I exist, and then she completely ignores the fact that I exist, and then moves on to go do something else with her friends. So I don't care anymore at this point. So I start making conversation with her friends. We're making conversation, dancing around, being idiots, and then my date comes back from the bathroom like 20 minutes later, and her friend see me dancing with her three other friends, and then she immediately like looks at me angrily, and then I look at her. I'm like jigging around, and then and she goes and she storms off, and then her three friends run off after her, trying to, I don't know, convince her that everything's okay and all that. I don't really know. All I know is there was a lot of babbling and yelling. Because that was the only thing that I could hear through the crowd. But, so I walk over, rather, to like the middle of the dance floor, because at this point I do not care anymore. It's been about an hour. By the way, I've already spent $40 between the $22 for pictures, the $8 for drinks and snacks, and the $10 that I had to spend for admissions. I have already spent $40 at just the dance. I also had to spend money to buy my suit and the flowers. The flowers were like $40. The suit was like $20. So far, my suit has been the cheapest thing this evening. $100. The evening is not yet done. And so, I'm dancing around in the middle of the dance floor, and you know that thing, and Uptown Funk comes on. I flippin' loved Uptown Funk way back then. I did not have, I mean, I still love Uptown Funk. It's modern American classic, but I didn't have a great sense of music. I listened to mostly pop music. Hate pop music now, but you know, I listened to mostly pop music. You know, because I didn't have, you know, a stupid enough look to me. I had to wear a fedora. I had to be chubby, short, wear a fedora, and like pop music. So yeah, I also couldn't dance. I still can't dance, because I am white as heck. There were 2 dance moves that I actually knew how to do. I knew how to do the fallback, and I knew how to do the moonwalk, and that was pretty much it. So I am, I'm dancing in the middle of the dance floor. And you know that thing in movies where they like clear a circle? They like, everybody spreads out and they clear a circle in the middle of the dance floor, and there's like the guy dancing around like non-stop. Except, imagine that, but the person in the middle is horrible at dancing, and a short, chubby white kid that nobody actually knows. I'm going at it for like the entirety of Uptown Funk, and I just don't care anymore. And about halfway through the song, I actually noticed that people were watching me, and I moved back through, or like, dang it, I wait for the song to finish up, and then as the song is fading out, I am moonwalking back through the crowd. It was great. As I was doing this, I just hear everybody cheering. It was amazing. Like 3 people that knew my name were like yelling my name, and then everybody else started yelling my name, and it was awesome. It was awesome. It was a solid like 2 or 3 minutes of like applause and cheering, and it was amazing. And then I see my date and her 4 friends behind her. My date goes, "What the heck was that?" I'm like, "It's dancing. You know, it's dancing." And the rest of her friends go, "Oh my gosh, what was that? That was awesome." And I'm like, "It was dancing." And I'm like, because at this point, I just don't care. When I'm in like the mood where I just do not give a crap, I dance a lot for some reason. I don't know. Like, that's the only time that anybody will ever catch me dancing, is when I just don't care anymore. Dancing. And then she goes and she storms off again. 3 of her friends, her 3 friends stay behind again. And we make a conversation, we're all dancing, I'm having a good time again. And, 5 minutes later, we're about an hour and a half into this 2.5 hours, by the way, of dance. And she comes back. And she's like angrily talking at her friends. And I'm like, you know, it's time for me to walk away this time. So, walk out. And so I walk out, go get a drink, because I'm thirsty. It's been an hour and a half since I actually drank anything. And I've been dancing a lot. Big old hot room. So I go over and I get a drink. I get a drink. I get some water. Drank some water. And then I grab a quick snack, finish that up in like 2 minutes, then I pop back over to the dance floor. And I find all them. They're having a good time. Everybody seems to be having a good time. So I'm like sneaking up. Not sneaking, but like I'm walking up. Well, jigging up. You know, that whole like shebang. But my date's not having it. Her friends are. I don't care what my date wants at this point. So, dancing, having a good time. Everybody except for my date is having a good time. And I'm like throwing jokes her way, trying to start conversation with her, trying to get her to, you know, be fun with the rest of us. And she just doesn't care. And so I stopped caring too. And so this happened for about the rest of the hour left of the dance. And dance is finishing up. My date, everybody's going off. Music stopped. The lights turned back on. My date ditched. Her friends also ditched. But I got a big old smile on my face. You know why? Because as we're all walking out, like everybody passing me who recognized me from the dancing thing are like giving me kudos and like, "Dude, you gotta show me how to do that." And I'm like, "Do that moonwalk one more time." I'm like, and I'm doing the moonwalk and I'm like entertaining people. I'm being charismatic. I'm talking to people that I will never conversate again with for the rest of my life. And finish up. We walk through, I finish up, and I go, and I leave, and, you know. And as I'm leaving, I notice over in the corner of the room was the bouquet of flowers. You know what I did? I looked at the bouquet of flowers. I looked over at the door. I looked at the bouquet of flowers again. Looked around to make sure she wasn't running up to come get them. And then I just walked away. She wasn't, but I was just walked away. So, to finish up, I guess I see her out. In front of the while I was waiting for my ride back to my house. I see her walk up. I go, "Hey!"
Hey! She's like, Look, seems like you had fun.
I did. By the way, you left your bouquet of flowers in there. Her mom was standing there behind her. I didn't know. And she goes,
He got you flowers? She goes, yeah. Where'd you...
you left them over in the corner in the thing. She's like, her mom is like coaxing her over to go get go to her bouquet of flowers. And I'm like getting into my car. I shake her mom's hand. Nice to meet you. Anyways, bye. I go over, I get in my car, and I sit down. There's a big old smile on my face. I close the door. My grandma looks over to me. She goes, "So your date went well?" I go, "Nope." Like, why are you so happy? I had a great time. And I continue to tell her a similar story to what I just told you. This is a much more dumbed down version that wasn't 40 minutes long. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that. Goodbye, YouTube.